The man never expected that in less than 4 months after being reincarnated as a goblin, he not only had children but also a pair of fraternal twins. Perhaps because they inherited the man's powerful genes, the children were born with extraordinary talents. They learned to walk just 2 hours after being born and could even speak human language. However, not long ago, the male protagonist had no idea how difficult it was for goblins to give birth. It was not until on the way of escorting the princess back to the royal capital that the male protagonist accidentally noticed that the bellies of his twin wives seemed something was wrong. Then he saw that their bellies were growing larger at a visible speed with the naked eye. Only then did the male protagonist realize that the two sisters were pregnant. He immediately wanted to return to the village to find his clansmen to help with the delivery. Unexpectedly, Gobuyi refused because the speed of goblin giving birth was calculated in minutes. The two sisters simply couldn't hold on until they got back to the village to give birth. Maybe the children would be born in a few minutes. Moreover, goblin cubs would gnaw on the mother's body in the womb to supplement their own nutrition. As humans, they simply couldn't withstand the male protagonist's powerful genes. That is to say, the children would bite through the bellies and come out on their own, and then the two sisters would die. After hearing this, the male protagonist panicked instantly. While anxiously looking for a place to deliver the babies, he watched the painful expressions of the two sisters with great anxiety.
私たちは大丈夫。だって私たちもうすぐ小家老の子供を授かるのよ。
Although the two sisters were strong, the children in their bellies were still frantically gnawing on their bodies to gain nutrients. If this went on, the two sisters would be killed by the children before the delivery. In order to protect his twin wives, the male protagonist directly tore off one of his own arms and asked the two sisters to eat it, because his meat could help the two sisters recover their strength as quickly as possible. But the two sisters shook their heads in pain. They would rather die than hurt their husband. At this time, the male protagonist couldn't care about anything else. If he delayed any longer, his wives would die. So he decisively chewed his own meat into pieces and forcefully fed it into the mouths of the two sisters.